Jaya Paramhams Prashrayata Sadasma Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Please Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Govinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. नवद्वीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you very much.
Maha-Bharata, First Part, Chapter 35, Virata-parva. As the rainy season came and went, Daumya determined by astrological calculation that the 13th year of exile was about to commence. So the brothers discussed their strategy. Encouraged by Dharma's boon, now they were hopeful. Although Duryodhana would undoubtedly send hundreds and thousands of spies all over the world to search for them, he would not be able to find them. At the same time, they did not want to take any chances. Thus, they considered how best to conceal themselves. Yudhishthir spoke to Arjuna. O ruler of men, what is your view? How shall we remain incognito? O my elder brother, by virtue of Dharma's boon, we shall be able to go about without being discovered. I have no doubt about that. But let us consider carefully the places where we could reside peacefully, and so I shall name them. Arjuna then listed a number of countries where their allies lived and asked Yudhishthir which he felt most suitable. Yudhishthir thanked his brother for his suggestions and replied, Dear brother, what Dharma has said must come to pass, so we shall reside in Matsya, the kingdom of Virata. That aged king is powerful, charitable, of a righteous disposition, and always favorably disposed towards us. So let us go there as his servants. Tell me, O sons of Kunti, how we should each present ourselves to the king. O Yudhishthir, O virtuous one, I am a bit doubtful. How can you become the servant of a king? You are like a god among men, and have always been the lord of others. How will you submit yourself to a lesser man? O Arjuna, let me reassure you, there will be no problem. I shall become the king's dicing partner and friend, presenting myself as Yudhishthir's former personal servant and close friend, Kunka, an expert at gaming. I will offer him and his ministers various kinds of pleasing service. Now, tell me, O Vrikodara, in what capacity will you enter Virata's city? O Bharata, I will present myself as a cook named Vallabha. I will say that I formerly worked in Yudhishthir's royal kitchens. I am an expert in the kitchen business and will prepare fine dishes for the king's table. I will also please the king by my feats of strength and by wrestling. I will overpower elephants and bulls, and will throw down the best of Virata's wrestlers without killing them. O king, do not fear for me, for I will take care of myself. Very well then, but what work will you do, Dhananjay? You possess invincible power. You are the joy of the Kurus, and it was you that the god Agni appeared as a Brahmin just to beg a favor. As the sun is the foremost of all the planets, as the Brahmana is the best of all men, and as the thunderbolt is the best of all weapons, you, Arjuna, are the best of all archers. Now, what humble office can you accept, having gone to heaven and obtained all celestial weapons, after pleasing that great god of gods, Maheshwara, Shiva? I think you, being Krishna's friend, do not deserve to be reduced to such a plight. O ruler of the earth, now I recall the curse of Urvashi and my father Indra's subsequent instruction. I shall become a member of the third sex, a eunuch. In order to conceal the scars the bowstring has made on my arms, I will wear numerous bangles. With bright gold earrings and braided hair, I will go before the king as Brihanala and offer to instruct his ladies in singing and dancing. I have acquired proficiency in these skills from the Gandharvas. Living in the king's harem, I will act as a female and please the king and his women by my services and by reciting many stories. Upon being asked for my background, I will say that formerly I was a waiting maid in Yudhishthir's palace. O king, hiding myself in this way, just as fire is concealed by ashes, I will pass my days during this final year. Yudhishthir looked in wonder at Arjuna. A eunuch? Oh, how astonishing were the movements of destiny! Yudhishthir then turned to Nakula, asking him how he planned to appear before Virata. Yes, I shall be a keeper of horses known as Granthika. I am thoroughly acquainted with all aspects of horsemanship, and I enjoy that work. O king, horses are as dear to me as you are. I will tell Virata that I was previously in charge of Yudhishthir's horses. Finally, Yudhishthir asked Sahadev what disguise he would assume. The youngest Pandava replied, Yes, I would like to become a cowherder. That kind of work pleases me, for I possess the skills of taming, milking, and breeding. I can recognize all the signs and characteristics of different kinds of cows and bulls. I will be known as Tantripala, and I shall thus render service to Virat, telling him that I used to work in that capacity for Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir now looked across at Draupadi, who was sitting near the brothers. And here is our beloved wife. She is dearer to us than life itself. Like a mother, she is to be cherished, and like an elder sister, respected. How will she appear before Virat? She will not be comfortable in the position of being a servant, for she has been accustomed to royal opulence from her very birth. Oh, Bharata, there is a class of maid known as Sairindri who serves others. It is understood that no respectable lady would accept such service. In that way, I will conceal myself in that guise. I will say that I was formerly Draupadi's waiting maid. I will serve the king's esteemed wife, Sudeshna, and by my expert service of dressing hair and ornamenting the queen, I will thus please her. So do not be anxious for me, O king." Yudhishthir looked at his devoted wife. She was prepared to undergo any austerity to serve her husbands. Although she was energetic and accomplished, it would not be easy for her to accept the position of menial servant to someone inferior, and her stay in Virat would be fraught with danger from lusty men who would think that she had no protector. "O Queen, you have spoken well. Devoted as you are to piety and chastity, you are a stranger to sin. So you should behave in such a way while in Virat that no wicked man might become attracted to you." All of this was discussed in a secluded place. They did not want to risk disclosing their whereabouts even to their friends and servants. And when they had decided upon their disguises, they went back to their hermitage. Yudhishthir then spoke to Daumya. "O learned Brahmana, if it is agreeable to you, please go to Drupada's city, for there you may live in peace and preserve our Agnihotra fires." Yudhishthir then ordered his servants, headed by Indrasena, to go to Dwaraka and live with the Yadavas. Upon arriving there, you should tell everyone that you were left alone by the Pandavas at Dwaitavan, and you have no idea of their whereabouts or intentions. Daumya made all arrangements for the Pandavas' journey. He lit the sacred fire and offered oblations on their behalf, invoking auspiciousness upon them and blessing them that they would achieve victory. The brothers and Draupadi then walked around the sacred fire, and after bowing before the Brahmanas, left the hermitage. Lean and bearded, after their long stay in the forest, the 5 Pandava brothers, clad in deerskins and carrying their weapons, seemed like 5 powerful rishis as they made their way on foot toward the river Kalindi. And as they passed through various countries, staying sometimes in the wild and at other times in inhabited regions, they presented themselves as hunters. Bhima carried Draupadi, and they moved quickly toward their destination. After many days of travel, they finally arrived in the expansive country known as Matsya. They saw the well-laid roads and paths which led from the forest to the capital. When the Pandavas reached the outskirts of the city, Yudhishthir sat them all down in a grassy clearing and spoke. "O best of men, although you are all acquainted with the science of diplomacy and policy, it still behooves me to advise you. We should conduct ourselves carefully in the presence of King Virata. Kings are always to be feared, just as one fears a deadly snake. The king is the protector and cherisher of all beings. The king is a deity in human form, and the king is like a great fire equipped with all kinds of weapons. So one should always act with the utmost caution when in the presence of a king. One who acts falsely with the king will be killed by the king. Of this there is no doubt. Yudhishthir spoke for some time, giving detailed instructions about all aspects of behavior with kings. Yudhishthir did not want his brothers to make any mistakes now that they were so close to completing their vow. Just one more year and they would be able to reclaim their kingdom. After finishing his instructions, Yudhishthir led them toward the city, and as they walked on, he spoke to Arjuna. If we were to enter Virata with our weapons, we will frighten the citizens and be quite conspicuous. Indeed, your Gandiva is famous throughout the whole world. And if we are discovered by anyone, then we will have to live a further 13 years in exile. Although Yudhishthir had faith in Dharma's boon, still he did not want to take any unnecessary chances. The Pandavas decided to conceal their weapons near the city. After looking all around, they came upon a huge tree near a cremation ground. The area was dismal and deserted, far from the road and close to the forest. Arjuna suggested that they wrap their weapons into a cloth bundle and place them high up in the tree. Anyone seeing that bundle by the crematorium would assume it to be a corpse and thus leave it alone. Agreeing to the suggestion, the brothers unstrung their bows and placed them upon Bhima's large deerskin garment. They wrapped and tied the bows, swords, quivers, and arrows. Nakula ascended the tree with the bundle and secured it to a high branch, which he felt offered sufficient shelter from rain. The Pandavas then made their way toward the city. They passed some cowherder men and told them that they had just placed their mother's body upon the tree. Yudhishthir spoke. "Oh, pay no attention. This is our ancient custom. We have placed our old mother's body high up in the tree. May she attain to the blessed heavenly regions." As they reached the city gate, Yudhishthir prayed to Goddess Durga. Seeing her as Krishna's divine energy, whose service it was to conceal the Lord's true identity from the atheists, Yudhishthir asked for her protection. Pleased by his prayer, Goddess Durga appeared before the Pandavas. "O heroes, soon you will attain victory in battle. After slaying your enemies, you will once again enjoy the earth. And through my grace, neither the Kurus nor the inhabitants of Virata will be able to recognize you until the final year has expired." Goddess Durga then disappeared, and the Pandavas entered the capital. Yudhishthir went first, but before parting from his brothers, he gave each of them a secret name by which they could call each other if the need arose. He was to be called Jaya, and the others were Jayanta, Vijay, Jayatsena, and Jayat Bala. Yudhishthir then strode into the city like a mighty lion. He went directly to the king's court. The king saw him enter like the moon emerging from the clouds. Turning to his counselors, he asked, "Who is this man who walks into my court as if he were a king. He cannot be a Brahmana. I think he is a lord of the earth, although he has neither a slave nor any other attendants with him. He shines just like Indra and approaches me fearlessly, just as an elephant might approach a lotus. O sinless one, know me to be a Brahmana who has lost everything and now seeks your service. I wish to live with you and accept you as my master. Joyful at having acquired such an obviously qualified man, Virata replied, O worshipful one, I bow down to you. You are indeed most welcome. I will give you the post you desire. Now tell me, which country are you from, and what is your name? Do you possess any particular skills? I was formerly a friend of Yudhishthir, and my name is Kanka. I am expert in casting dice and can entertain and please you in that way. The king smiled without thinking for a moment that this so-called Brahmana before him might actually be Yudhishthir himself. Although he felt the newcomer to be extraordinary, he accepted his explanation. He felt an immediate affinity for Kanka, whose expressions and bodily movements were gentle and pleasing. If he was indeed Yudhishthir's friend, then surely he was of the highest character and worthy of the king's respect. Cheerfully, I say, live with me in peace. This kingdom is as much yours as it is mine, and I am always pleased by expert dicers. Yudhishthir asked that he not be called to play with any low-class person or involved in disputes or fights over the game. And so the king replied, I will kill anyone who does you any wrong. Even if the wrongdoer is a Brahmana, I will banish him from the kingdom. Now, let all my subjects hear my proclamation. This Kanka is as much the lord of this dominion as myself. Now, Kanka, you shall become my friend. You will ride with me on my chariot. You will wear the best of clothes and enjoy the finest dishes. My door will always be open to you, and you will become my closest advisor and counselor. Yudhishthir was then shown to his quarters in the king's palace, and he began to live there most happily and undetected by anyone. The following day, Bhima entered the city. He went down the main road toward the king's palace, appearing like a powerful lord of elephants. In his hands, he held a ladle and a cooking spoon, as well as a shining, unblemished sword, the shade of light blue in color. Dressed as a cook, he went before the king, illuminating the royal court with his bodily effulgence. King Virata looked at him in amazement and then asked his counselors, And who is this young man, exceedingly handsome and with the shoulders of a lion? Although he is new here, I feel as if I have always known him. I cannot place him, but surely he must be either Purandara, Indradeva himself, or perhaps a powerful Gandharva king. Whatever he wants, let him have it immediately. One of Virata's counselors went to Bhima, asking him what he desired. So Bhima looked up at the king and spoke. Oh, I am a cook named Vallabha. I pray, anoint me to your kitchen, for I am expert in the culinary arts. King Virata gazed at Bhima's massive arms and broad chest. "What? I cannot believe that you are a cook. Why, you shine like the thousand-eyed deity Indra, and from your grace, beauty, and prowess, you appear to be the best of men." "No, sir. I am only your servant. Please allow me to work in the royal kitchens." And as he addressed the king, Bhima's voice resounded in the royal court like a great drum. "In days gone by, my cooking was tasted by Yudhishthir, but I possess other abilities as well. I am a peerless wrestler, and I can entertain you by fighting lions and elephants." As with Kanka, the king felt an immediate affection for this most unusual arrival. "Well then, you shall become the head of my kitchens. But I do not think this office worthy of you. You should rather be the ruler of the earth." And so Bhima began working in the kitchens, becoming a great favorite of the king and recognized by no one. Draupadi was next to enter the city, with her glossy black hair twisted into one long braid thrown on her right-hand side, and dressed in a single soiled cloth. She walked through the city streets as if in distress. Many people gathered around her, asking her who she was and what she wanted. "I am a Sairindri, and I seek someone who will employ and maintain me." Hearing her sweet voice and observing her incomparable beauty, the people found it hard to believe that she could be a maidservant. And so they directed her to the royal palace, and as she was walking, Sudeshna, Virata's wife, saw her, and the queen asked, "O gentle one, why do you wander about in this way? I seek someone who will employ and maintain me, for I am a Sairindri." "This surely cannot be true. O most beautiful one, it seems to me that you yourself could appoint numerous servants. By your bodily appearance, I take you to be one of the highest and most noble of lineage. Your countenance shines like the full moon. Your body is shapely. Your eyes are like lotus petals, framed by curling lashes. Your lips are red like the bimba fruit, and your skin is as smooth as silk. Why, in beauty you resemble a goddess, and surely you must have descended from the heavens. Pray tell me who you are, for you cannot possibly be a maidservant." Draupadi straightened her disheveled cloth and turned her dark eyes toward the queen. "I am neither a goddess nor a celestial. I am a maid of the Sairindri class. I am skilled in dressing hair and preparing unguents. I can make variegated and beautiful garlands of jasmines, lotus, and lilies. Previously, I have served Satyabhama, Krishna's beloved queen, as well as Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas. My name is Malini, but now I have no engagement. So please allow me to serve in your palace, O queen." Sudeshna gazed at Draupadi's unparalleled beauty and obvious nobility. How could she possibly be a serving maid? Still, she would make a valuable addition to the palace. But what effect would she have on the king, and indeed any other man who saw her? The queen smiled at Draupadi, but spoke doubtfully. I can place you on my head, never mind as my servant. I do not doubt that. Yet I fear that your beauty will captivate the king's heart. Seeing how even the women here are staring at you, I feel there is no man alive who could resist your charms. It seems that even the trees are bending low just to pay you homage. Surely upon seeing you, the king will lose his heart and forsake me. O lady of sweet smiles, the person upon whom you cast your glance will certainly fall victim to the god of love, Cupid. By engaging you, I will bring upon myself my own destruction. Although I should love to have your company, this is my fear. O Queen, let me reassure you. Neither Virata nor any other man can win me, for I have 5 Gandharva husbands, and those invincible heroes always protect me, and I myself will never cast a single glance on any other man. However, my husbands stipulate certain conditions for those who would engage me. My husbands desire that I not eat any food which has already been taken by another, and that I not be asked to wash another's feet. Guarding me secretly, my husbands bring about the immediate destruction of any man who desires me. No one is able to sway me from the path of righteousness, O Queen. Indeed, I ask that you always keep me safe from other men. Therefore, put aside your fears. Sudeshna decided to employ Draupadi. The queen promised that Draupadi's food would always be fresh and untouched by any other, and that she would not be called upon to wash anyone's feet. Draupadi thanked her and was led by the queen into the inner chambers of the palace, where she began her life as Sairindri, a maidservant. The day after Draupadi's entrance into Virata's kingdom, Sahadev made his way into the city dressed as a cowherder. He arrived at the cow pasture in the region of Virata's palace. The king just happened to be visiting his herd and was present when Sahadev arrived. Virata sent for him, asking who he was and why he had come to his kingdom. Sahadev replied, I am a Vaishya named Tantripala. I used to work with the cows belonging to the Pandavas. I am expert in handling cows and bulls, and I desire to render you that same service. Seeing your broad shoulders and long arms, surely you must be either a Brahmana or a powerful Kshatriya. The office of a ruler would better suit you than a cowherder. Tell me, where do you hail from? O afflictor of enemies, what engagement do you desire, and for what payment? Previously, I resided in Indraprastha, and I took care of the innumerable cows there. I know everything about caring for cows, O king, so I desire only my residence and upkeep, and will serve you to the best of my ability. I accept your request. I have 100,000 cows. These, along with their keepers, shall all be placed under your care. So now, live here in peace, and I shall ensure that you are provided with whatever you desire. And the day after Sahadev's entry, another newcomer was seen making his way into the city. With a huge body and adorned with the clothes and ornaments of a woman, he went toward the king's palace, shaking the earth with his very steps, even though he walked with the gait of a broad-hipped woman. He stood before the king with his body concealed by layers of colored silks. His arms were covered by numerous conch shell bracelets set with gold, and he seemed like a huge, gorgeously decorated elephant standing in the royal court. Virata looked at him in surprise. He asked his courtiers, "Who is this? Why, I have never seen such a person." No one in the court could identify him, and so the king turned to Arjuna and said, "You appear endowed with the might of a celestial. Young and dark-complexioned, you look like a lord of elephants. Although you wear bracelets and fine gold earrings and have braided your hair, still you shine like a god, decked with garlands and equipped with armor and weapons. You should become like my son, or even myself. I am old and worn out. Therefore, you should rule this kingdom in my place and let me retire. I cannot believe that you are of the neuter sex." In a deep voice, which echoed around the court, Arjuna replied, "I sing, dance, and play musical instruments. I am skilled in all of these arts. O God among men, assign me to your daughter Uttara, and I shall become her dancing master. Now, please do not ask me how I have acquired this form, for that would only add to my pain. O king, know me to be Brihanala, a son or daughter without parents." Virata simply stared at Brihanala with astonishment. "After testing you, happily I will place you as my daughter's instructor. I feel, though, that you deserve to rule the earth rather than to accept such a humble position." The king then had beautiful women examine Brihanala to ensure that he was free from lust. He also asked him to display his abilities of singing and dancing. The women reported back that there was no problem, and the king, after seeing his celestial skills, happily appointed Brihanala as Princess Uttara's teacher. And so, in the guise of a eunuch, Arjuna began living with the women in Virata's palace, instructing them in singing and playing musical instruments, as well as in the various modes of dancing which Arjuna had learned from the Gandharvas. Due to the curse of Urvashi, Arjuna felt no disturbance in the presence of women, and he soon became a great favorite in their chambers. No one even slightly suspected that he was in fact the world-renowned Pandava Arjuna. Now, it only remained for Nakula to enter Virata. On the day after Arjuna entered, he appeared in the city. The people saw him walking through the streets like the sun globe appearing from behind clouds. Going to the royal stables, he began examining the horses. When the king saw him there, shining like a celestial, the king had him summoned to the royal court, and Nakula introduced himself. "O king, all victory to you. I am the keeper of horses, known as Granthika. Formerly I was employed by Yudhishthir, and so I am well versed in all the arts of horsemanship. I know the temper of horses and can break them completely. Under my care, hardly an animal falls ill, and not even the mares are found to be wicked. Employ me as your horsekeeper, O king, and I shall serve you well." Virata looked at the tall, powerful person before him. He seemed to be born of aristocracy, and there was no doubt that he had the abilities he claimed to have. The king agreed to employ him. "Yes, you shall take charge of my stables and all those who work in them, including my charioteers. You appear to me like a king yourself, and your sight is as pleasing to me as it must have been to Yudhishthir. I wonder how that faultless Pandava is faring in the deep forest without servants such as yourself." And so, having achieved the positions they desired, the five brothers and Draupadi began their final year in exile, not being suspected of their true identities by anyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.